Ananya had always believed that trust was the foundation of marriage. For 12 years, she had built her life around her husband, Raghav, his dreams, his routines, his world. She adjusted her ambitions, ignored small disappointments, and convinced herself that love meant patience. But somewhere between late-night meetings, unexplained trips, and a phone that never left his hand, cracks began to form. At first, she dismissed her doubts as insecurity, but a wife's intuition is not easily silenced. The man who once rushed home to her now avoided eye contact, and the warmth in his voice had faded into indifference. The truth began revealing itself in fragments: a lipstick stain on a handkerchief, a receipt from a hotel across town, messages deleted but not forgotten. Ananya felt her heart fracture, yet she did not confront him. Instead, she observed, quietly, carefully, watching her own marriage unravel while pretending nothing was wrong. She cried alone at night, not from weakness, but from betrayal. Still, she chose silence, not because she was afraid, but because she was planning. One evening, when Raghav claimed he had an urgent business presentation, Ananya noticed a strange calm in herself. She followed him, her hands trembling but her resolve firm. What she saw shattered the last piece of denial she had left. Raghav walked into a cafe holding hands with his colleague, Nisha, laughing freely, touching her as if he had never known loyalty. Ananya stood across the street, hidden in plain sight, recording everything. The way he leaned close, the way Nisha rested her head on his shoulder, the kiss they shared without shame. Each second of footage felt like a knife, but she did not stop recording. She knew this evidence would be her shield. From that moment on, Ananya began documenting everything: phone recordings, video clips, messages synced from a cloud account Raghav had forgotten about. She discovered how long the affair had lasted, how deeply they had mocked her behind her back, calling her boring, blind, and too loyal to notice. The words burned, but instead of breaking her, they forged something harder: clarity. She realized this betrayal was not her failure, it was theirs. The day Ananya chose to reveal the truth, she did so with precision. She invited both families for what she called a special dinner. Raghav smirked, assuming his wife was as oblivious as ever. Nisha arrived too, confident and arrogant, unaware that the walls she leaned on were about to collapse. When everyone had gathered, Ananya calmly connected her phone to the television. Without raising her voice, without shedding a tear, she pressed play. The room fell into a suffocating silence as the videos unfolded. There were gasps, shocked whispers, and finally, anger. Raghav's parents stared at the screen in disbelief. Nisha's confidence evaporated as her lies were exposed one by one. Her professional image, her moral superiority, her carefully curated reputation, all dissolved in minutes. Raghav tried to speak, but his words were hollow, powerless against undeniable truth. Ananya then spoke, not with rage, but with devastating calm. She talked about loyalty, about sacrifice, about how betrayal is not a mistake, but a choice repeated every day. She ended with a single sentence that echoed in a room like thunder: "You didn't just cheat on me, you destroyed yourselves." The consequences were swift and brutal. Raghav lost his job when the affair violated company ethics. Nisha's engagement ended, her social circle turning away from her in disgust. Friends who once admired them now whispered behind closed doors. The life they had secretly built together crumbled publicly, mercilessly. The thrill of their affair vanished, replaced by blame and resentment. They stopped seeing each other soon after, each realizing the other was never worth the ruin they caused. Ananya filed for divorce without hesitation. She walked away not as a victim, but as a survivor who refused to be silenced. The same woman they thought was weak stood tall, reclaiming her dignity with grace. She moved into a new home, rebuilt her career, and slowly rediscovered herself, her laughter, her confidence, her worth. Months later, when Ananya passed Raghav on the street, he looked smaller, defeated by his own choices. He tried to apologize, but she simply nodded and walked on. She no longer needed closure. The truth had already set her free. In the end, Ananya did not ruin them out of revenge. She ruined them with truth. And sometimes the most powerful justice is not anger, but exposure. If you enjoyed this story and want more intense thrillers and suspenseful adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with friends who love a good mystery. Your support helps me bring you more stories just like this one.